Ever paid 10 rupees for a single Deku stick? I've got bad news. You got scammed. Actually, you both got scammed. You see, Hyrule doesn't just have an economy, it has two. And the one you spend 90% of your time in is a complete developer-designed illusion. It's a scam you and the shopkeepers are both running on each other, and somehow, in the end, you both lose. It's classic video game logic. We all nod along when a wolf poofs into $5. We ignore who's printing money and stuffing it into pots. And we understand that money gating is a shortcut for locking progression. We all know the obvious stuff, so let's talk about what's actually interesting. Far more than any other Zelda game, Ocarina of Time is filled with what can only be described as economic anomalies that we typically just handwave. But if you take it at face value, the world starts to look different. This isn't simply a world of supply and demand. This is a world of infinite money and infinite goods. This is a world of scams. Before we dive into all the ways the game rips you off, you need to understand there is a legitimate economy in Hyrule, a high-trust, high-value barter system where sane people exchange actual goods and favors, and you occasionally are invited to participate. The Big Goron Sword quest is the longest trading sequence in the game. You swap prescription eye drops, rare fungi, creepy frogs, off-colored poultry. 12 trades, 0 rupees. Not once does anyone ask for cash. In fact, if an NPC really wants to reward you, they don't insult you with cash. They give you something actually valuable, an empty bottle. Now that is the true gold standard of Hyrule. So here's the question. If everyone else is trading real goods, why are you stuck using rupees? Because rupees aren't actually what people value. The rupee is an infinitely spawning crystal you harvest by committing petty vandalism. You smash pots, you cut grass, you steal them from the stranger's kitchen while they watch. Link is basically a walking money laundering operation. I mean, why else would a literal beggar be so hell-bent on getting rid of his seemingly unlimited rupee supply? He caught on early to the monetary collapse and is willing to buy anything he can just to cash himself out of the system. Let's get this out of the way early. It's important to note that although Hyrule's economy does look like a monetary collapse, there is absolutely no signs of hyperinflation, or even normal levels of inflation. You have the benefit of moving time 7 years into the future, and everything suspiciously still costs exactly the same amount of rupees. So, Ocarina of Time has two economies that exist in parallel. One is based on trust, the other is based on pretending shiny rocks have meaning. And Link appears to be the only person in Hyrule trapped in the fake one. And here's the bit. The shopkeepers are in on it. I mean, they'd have to be. Think about it. You walk into a shop holding 40 rupees you got by terrorizing the shrubbery 2 minutes ago. The shopkeeper looks at your pockets full of glass shards and lawn clippings. He knows what you are, he knows what you did, and he accepts it. That is the mutual scam of Hyrule's economy. You both agree to pretend your glass rocks are legitimate currency. The merchant agrees to pretend his infinitely respawning Deku stick is a valuable commodity, and both of you agree to not make eye contact while the sad fake transaction takes place. This is the only way the price even makes sense. He isn't scamming you out of 10 rupees. He is scamming you because he's simulating a market that doesn't exist. This is what sets Ocarina of Time apart from other adventure games, even in its own series. Most game economies are progression systems. You grind money to buy an item that is necessary and, usually, exclusive to that shop. And to make my point, Ocarina of Time lies to you by pretending it's one of them. The very first thing the game does is force you to buy a 40 rupee shield. Just enter the Deku Tree. It is a mandatory purchase, it is a progression wall. The game establishes one single honest transaction to make you trust that shops are for progression, and your rupees actually have value. But that's the trap. It's a classic bait and switch. Need proof? Let's look at the other mandatory item you have to pay for, the Zora Scale. Now this is a minigame. It is not a shop, it is not a purchase. You pay a 20 rupee entry fee for a skill testing challenge. The real economy tests your ability, not your wallet. The fake economy just rips you off. At its heart, Ocarina of Time's economy is entirely a redundancy system. There is practically nothing in this game you can buy that you can't also get for free. That Deku stick for 10 rupees? You can see the free ones from outside the shop. He's charging you for being too lazy to walk outside. Let's call this the laziness tax. They're not really forcing you to buy, they're just betting you won't walk 5 feet to check if they're free in the alley behind the store. But come on, we've all paid. You got plenty of fake money to burn, and 3 seconds of your life is surely worth more than 10 rupees. The same goes for potions. Why pay 30 rupees for healthcare when you can get it for free by cutting suspiciously heart-shaped bushes? Or fairies, which cost 50 rupees despite being available for free in random holes in the ground. That's like a 100% profit margin on kidnapping fairy tale creatures. But the absolute king of this grift is the Zora shop. They sell a fresh fish for 200 rupees. Let's really look at the optics here. You're buying a fish from a fish, while you're literally within scooping distance of endless free fish. So, ethical dilemmas about cannibal capitalism aside, if you buy this item, you didn't make a trade. You failed an IQ test. The pricing of certain items also seems to incentivize chaos. A standard pack of 5 bombs costs 25 rupees, only 5 rupees a pop. A Deku stick, which is just a dry twig, is 10 rupees. Hyrule's economy says it's financially irresponsible to start forest fires. You should blow up some walls instead. The devs really didn't build shops to supply you. They built them to give you the illusion that the currency even matters. So if money is infinite, why do you always seem to be broke? Well, you see, there's this thing called a wallet. This is the financial system's only defense against you. It does not operate like a normal wallet. It is an artificial poverty generator psychologically designed to keep you chained to the scam economy. We all know it. The physics here are absolutely nonsense. Adult Link carries 20 bombs, a megaton hammer, iron boots, a hook shot, and a two-handed sword the size of a horse. But rupee number 201? Sorry, too heavy. The wallets create the artificial sensation of being poor while you're standing in a field of infinite wealth. And only the smartest merchants weaponize this. The Magic Bean salesman is a visionary in psychological warfare. He's got a monopoly on a collectible quest item. He starts at 10 rupees, then 20, then 30. He keeps raising the price until bean number 10 costs 100 rupees. Almost like he knows that's a single rupee more than you can carry. This encourages you to upgrade your pockets just so you can have the privilege of being price gouged one last time. It's a charge based on your fear of missing a heart piece somewhere you don't even know yet. When you're tired of being scammed by legitimate merchants, you can always try the grifts that are just straight up rigged gambling. If you prefer your fraud transparent, there's the treasure chest minigame. It's a 3% chance of winning. You're gonna want x-ray glasses just to make it fair. And if that's too exciting, you can always try Dompe's grave digging tour. You pay a city employee 10 rupees to do his own job. It's a cinematic experience that charges you for having your time wasted while you follow him at a shambling pace, praying to RNG for a heart piece. Which makes it all the more suspicious when someone actually pays you. First, you have the Zora diving game. I originally thought this was a typical casino scam, but it's more of a scam of dignity. He charges you 20 rupees, then immediately throws 25 rupees worth of gems in the water. He is mathematically guaranteed to lose money. If you come back after you've won the Zora scale, the rupee values are randomized, and about 5% of the time, he'll just toss in an orange rupee worth 200. Why? Because he's a rich fish man living in a boring paradise. He doesn't need your green rocks. He's paying you to be his entertainment. The same can be said for the Bomb Chew bowling alley, where you pay 30 rupees for 10 bomb chews, which themselves cost 100 rupees. If you think about it, this proves the only people in Hyrule pretending your rupees have actual fixed value are the shopkeepers. You know, the ones selling you 10 rupee sticks and 300 rupee tunics. Even legitimate goods have shady pricing. The Hylian Shield lists for 80 rupees, but if you talk to the gate guard first, you get a massive discount. The sticker price is for suckers. It's actually based entirely on who you know. When you've had enough of the passive-aggressive frauds, don't worry, Hyrule offers the fully aggressive model too. The business scrubs have adopted a unique assault-based marketing strategy. They hide in bushes, spit rocks at your head, and when you threaten them with a sword, they pivot to a sales pitch. They literally use commerce as a human shield. Good luck getting a refund from someone who just disappeared into the dirt. If anything, it's usually when you try to buy something you think you actually need that the game really punishes you. You find Medigoron when you're a child, and if you can even afford it, shell out 200 of your finest rupees, your entire net worth, for a promise that he will deliver you the ultimate sword. Eventually. It doesn't even give you a claim check, he just says come back later. Turns out eventually is 7 years later, and now, as an adult, you run back to claim your legendary weapon. You swing it, and it shatters. And so has your trust. Medigoron is basically calling your bluff with a stupidity tax. You paid me in fake money? Fine, here's a fake sword. We're even. Welcome to adulthood. I hope you brought cash. So the bad news is that 7-year nap didn't just hit you with puberty. It also shattered the mutual part of that mutual scam. The child era scams are goofy. The adult era scams feel like what happens when the world decides you're old enough to suffer consequences. The masterpiece of this new economy are the tunics. Let's be clear, you are given a Goron tunic for free by your Goron brother before you can even access the store. You were given a Zora tunic for free by the king you just, saved? This is what real economy rewards look like. And then you walk into the shop, and what are they selling? The exact same tunics! The game actually has a secret line of dialogue for this. If you're a big enough sucker to buy the Zora tunic and then you go thaw out King Zora to get your free one, he'll notice. He'll see you're already wearing it. Instead of the free real economy gift he was going to give you, he offers you a kiss? You've been scammed so hard, the game's real economy revokes your reward and mocks you for it. The Goron tunic costs 200 rupees, which is, coincidentally, your wallet's maximum capacity. These merchants are preying on your potential for failure. Their entire business model depends on a like eating your clothes, and then charging your whole net worth just to cover your shame. It turns out Hyrule is full of these cynical salespeople. You find the carpet merchant in the middle of the haunted wasteland, which sounds like a great place for business. He's selling bomb shoes for 200 rupees, which is double the normal price. He has a simple yet effective model, a monopoly. He's a scalper hawking Pokemon cards he bought from Target 7 years ago. He's betting 100 fake dollars that you're too lazy to literally tear a hole in space-time just to find a better deal. And the worst part? He's right. You pay. Yep, that's location tax. But the award for the most insulting transaction possible goes to Blue Fire. The shop in Kakariko sells it for an insane 300 rupees. You only need Blue Fire while you're inside the ice cavern, a place that is full of free infinite blue fire. Why would anyone even buy this? Even if you wanted to, you'd have to trek all the way across the map just to use it on something. This doesn't even qualify as a convenience tax. It's more like an anti-convenience tax. It's a 300 rupee fine for your own lack of planning. And to make this transaction a complete vortex of economic nonsense, Blue Fire, due to a coding mistake, can also break certain bombable walls. The shop accidentally sells you an insanely overpriced free item that also accidentally functions as a bomb. This scam is a mess from top to bottom. The truth is, Ocarina of Time's economy means battling wallet-induced poverty trapped between artificial scarcity and, worst of all, infinite faucets. By the time you reach the endgame, the wallet poverty is gone. You've got a 500 rupee wallet. The minigames pay you anytime you want. The Skulltula House pays you just for showing up. The faucets are running at full blast. So you go and defeat Ganon, you save the world, watch the credits roll, you're feeling like a hero, and then you load your save file. You're right back where you were, standing outside Ganon's castle. Your quest is over, but your wallet is still full. You've got 500 rupees and a whole eternity to spend them. And that's when it hits you. The biggest problem with Ocarina of Time's economy is it's all faucets and no sinks. You are now permanently trapped in the broken economy you helped create. The shops are all still open, the merchants are all still there. That guy is still selling Deku sticks for 10 rupees, and he's looking at you, and you're looking at him, and you both know the scam is over. Your 500 rupees are pointless. You're just another guy with a pocket full of fake rocks that nobody wants anymore. Not even you. Instead of a tax this time, this is your retirement bonus. You may have saved Hyrule, you may have defeated the great king of evil, but economically, the game leaves you holding the bag.